Welcome to Gamer's Anatomy. Our clinic has been rebuilt and upgraded to medical supply level 3. And it's a good thing because, we're getting more and more flus and now they're deadly. And without any medical supply, that would have definitely been a tough pieces. It takes many months, like there's still 8. I don't know when it started, but there's still 8. Minus 25 of health and a big mortality. Even with my mortality reduction, I still have a mortality. So if I didn't have those medical supply level 3, which by the way also give me a great unity boost, I would be in big trouble. We would lose hundreds of people pretty quickly. So how are we making this? First of all, I'm making it close to the food, and you're gonna see quickly why, because actually we made it over here on the same island as the food processing plants. I think there is still definitely space if need be in the future, and I made it really clean, right? Obviously, I think I shared in previous episode, but usually to make something clean like this, I'm not going to make it there, right? I'm going to take a big space, maybe all the way over here, right? That's actually where I made it. But I take a big space over here, and I'm gonna play with the placement, move things around, and when I'm really happy, I'm gonna copy the whole thing and put it all the way where it needs to fit, right? So that's how we have this whole thing there. Now, the key reason I put it over here is the reality is we need some food materials, right? We're gonna need a lot of poppy seed, that's something new, and a lot of sugar cane. So that is why we have also some new expansion over here, right? We have this line here that's making a lot of sugar, and we have this line here that's making those 6 over here are making poppy, and then this, 5 are making sugar. We still have the old 2 sugar over here, but I think after this episode what I'll do is, I'll delete those 2, I'll put them there, so we'll just have to, dig a bit more there, put a bit of soil on top of it, and then this way I will have, consolidated, and instead of having sort of 2 lines for sugarcane, we can only have 1. But yeah, we have the sugarcane and poppy that's coming from all the way over there, right? Again, that's a simple sort of thing where we have at level 0 the sugar, at level 1 the poppy. Right? So this way they don't mix, and you don't need to have any overflow system or anything like this. It does take water, of course, so I've built a new water facility over here. It's a bit overkill, I don't think I need that much, and I think in one of the next episode I will probably fix that in the sense of having really 1 line of water per line and make exactly the amount of water that we need, but it's better to have more than not enough. So yeah, we have this new water production over here. This is the classic of we take a boiler electric, and that's fine because remember we're now making a lot more energy thanks to our fast breeder reactor, the perfect nuclear reactors. If you missed it, I covered this in the last episode. But yeah, we have, the electric boilers creating steam out of water. Then we put this into this thermal desalinator to create water and brine out of the steam with a bit of seawater. We send the brine into the ocean, and we send the water, to all of my farms over here. It's this pipe there that goes around, right? So we can also, by the way, also delete now these ones, because these were the sugar cane for medical 2. Now we just need these ones for medical 3. So that's gonna be deleted, that's good. It's gonna give me some resources. So yeah, we're sending, the sugar cane and the poppy all the way onto the belt. It goes all the way over here, and it goes into this new production. Now we also have a couple of other inputs that are needed, and we have some outputs. In the future, at the end, we're gonna need, to have a mega bus to bring those resources, but for now, I'm still using trucks. So what do we need? Well, we're gonna need a bit of glass, a bit of plastic, and when I say a bit, it's really a bit. I'm gonna show you the numbers, but still, you do need, a storage. A bit of steel, which has been a bit my problem these days. It is slightly smaller storage because I'm trying to increase back my construction parts and vehicles numbers. We're gonna need to improve that steel factory or steel production for sure. So steel, then a bit of water, a bit of acid, a bit of rock also, and we're going to then create slag and also create graphite. It's actually full, but that's fine. It's fine if it's full. There is an overflow system. One thing I also did wanted to mention is I've started to play a lot more with the priorities. So for example, over here, everything that is linked to this factory over here, my nuclear factory, everything is priority number 1, which means that the population and the people will always get there first. Oh, this one I forgot. So let's do it right away. Yeah, so all of them are priority number 1. Then over here we have my food production, right? All of this is actually priority number 4. You can see the water production, but also all of these over here, right? The food processing plants, they're also priority number 4. Then medical, I've put all priority number 5. So again, even the water production for the farms over there is priority number 5. Yeah. And all of these buildings here are also priority number 5. This is just in case, we have problem with electricity or problem with our people, we are gonna be able, to ensure there is at least food and medical before we do things like, oh, let's make more construction parts, or let's make maybe, something even less important like the lab equipment, right? That's the least important of them all. But yeah, we have then these new things over here. This whole production over here is going to create 24 times 4. So we're talking about almost 100 per minute, right? Which is definitely more than what I need right now, which is why, we're starting to have some reserves, and this whole thing over there is completely full. The reason I wanted to do this is for 2 reasons. The first one is when you do have illnesses, sometimes your consumption will jump quite high. And you can see my population is not even at 7,000, so it's gonna get quite high, around 60-ish. And then the second is that actually 4 of these is a perfect ratio. All of these is at perfect ratio. We're producing exactly what we need. What do I mean by this? Well, if you look over here, for example, right, this is 24. That requires 24 of these, 12 and 12. This is exactly what we're making here, right? We're making 24 for each, and then we have 2 of these making 24. So all of the ratios of production are perfect. If I were to make only 3, for example, then this would create problem. Those ones, one of these would work only half of the time. So that's why I went with 4. So all of this is perfect production. Let's start at the end and go back from there. So we want to make medical supply level 3. That's gonna make medical supply level 2, plus anesthetic and morphine. Level 2 is made over here, which is level 1 plus antibiotic. Level 1 is over here. This is medical equipment and disinfectant. We have the medical equipment over here. This is actually only making 6 per minute with an assembly level 3. And this is taking plastic and steel, which is why we have the plastic and steel coming over here, right? These are the 2 belts. So we have plastic at level 0, the steel at level 1 goes there, no problem. So that creates, a lot of medical equipment, goes into the storage, and then from the storage at level 0 into this one. We have also the disinfectant that will go at level 1, comes from this belt, a bit further apart. This is those 2 over here that are taking ethanol and plastic. Why? This is also why we have the plastic just over here, right? So it delivers here, delivers there, and then it's done. So this disinfectant goes all the way over here, right? And it takes ethanol. The ethanol is this pipe over here, comes with storage. This enables me also to put potentially, will tell me if it goes low, that will be a problem. And it comes with those 2 fermentation tanks. Each of them is making 9, each of these is using 9, so that's perfect. This is taking sugar and oxygen to make that ethanol and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will go into that belt over here. It is merged with some other carbon dioxide, and then it goes over here where we have a pipe balancer that says, first go into this chemical plant so you can make a bit of graphite. That's the graphite we've been seeing, over here. But if you're full, obviously, then you can go into the atmosphere. This is really not a lot, right? 12 and 12. So one of these should be enough. So it requires oxygen and sugar. And you can see over here, we have actually a few of these. We have oxygen, sugar, ammonia, and then H2, so hydrogen and nitrogen. These are kind of inputs for many of those things. So before we look at those inputs, maybe let's go back over here. And I said, you know, for this level 1, we have seen it. Level 2, we also needed the antibiotics. That's what's coming over here. There is the storage. It's always, let's put it there if you get lower. Right. And here it is 8 of this fermented tank with a new recipe. This recipe is also sugar and also oxygen, as I mentioned, but also ammonia. That's why we have the ammonia here. And that's going to make the antibiotics and a bit of carbon dioxide, which is why we have again this carbon dioxide pipe here that merge with the other one. So that's how we're making, you know, the antibiotics. And then for level 3, as we said, we also need the anesthetic and morphine. That's what's coming over there, right? We have the morphine here, taking poppy, acid, and glass. Right? And so we have this over here. You can see the acid is that pipe that comes on the top. It will go over there, continue here, and it's gonna be used for this. The glass is coming also over here on the outside. It's gonna be used just here. And then we have the poppy, that is the one coming at the top here, right? That's not too hard. And then next to it, we have also the anesthetics, taking ammonia, hydrogen fluoride, and steel. And so that's what's coming over here. We have the hydrogen fluoride that goes here. We have the steel that, remember, came from here, is first given to the medical equipment and then just continues all the way there. And then lastly, we have a bit more of ammonia, which is why we put it over here. Remember, we're using already the ammonia there and we're making it over here. So that's this pipe there, right? It comes here and goes here. So with that, we're making the anesthetic. And as you can see, this is the only one that's not full because sometimes I've had problems where we didn't have enough steel or didn't have enough hydrogen fluoride, because the hydrogen fluoride is made over here out of acid again, right? And also rocks. And actually that has been the problem, is sometimes my rock production wasn't enough because I had stopped, you know, to dig anything, so I didn't have rocks anymore. So to battle this problem, what I have done is over here build one of these cargo depot. We're taking this rock from a mine on, you know, the global map, and this one is actually the only mine that is a forever mine. As you can see, there is no limit. There is stored, which is how much is available right now, but there is no limit. It will go forever. And this is because there is actually no contract. If you look at F3 contract, there's no contract to give us rock. And we do need a bit of rock to make this a forever city. So this will actually stay probably forever like this. I may move it somewhere else at some point or something like this, but yeah, we need a bit of rock. And so now I should never have any problem anymore with my medical supply. But yeah, this is why, if you were wondering why this wasn't full when we first look at it, that's why. Then we need to move over here, right? How are we making the sugar? How are we making the oxygen, ammonia, etc.? So for the ammonia, it is over here. We're gonna take hydrogen and nitrogen. We have 2 of these, right? They're going there into this storage, and then they're being sent over here. So we need hydrogen and nitrogen. That's what's over here, right? Where we're making first the nitrogen in an air separator, and then we're also making the hydrogen into those electrolyzer. I have 2 level 1 and 1 level 2. This is to make exactly what I need, right? Because if you look over here, I need 6 and then 12 to make exactly what I need in terms of ammonia. So that's 18. And that's the same over here, 12 and 3 and 3. So that's 18. And then similarly, you know, this is 24 and 12, so 36. This is exactly what we're producing here. I still have, you know, overflow systems with these ones, just in case. But yeah, I'm producing exactly what we need. Similarly here for the sugar, we have 4 of these. That's exactly what we need, you know, for this to run at 100%. It's taking the sugar and a bit of water. So that's also why we have the water there and the sugar coming at that level 2. And it's making just a bit of biomass. I know that for the biomass, I could transform it into compost and then transport the compost into fertilizer, organic, and therefore, you know, it disappears. I think it's a bit of a waste of time. I'm just burning it. It's really not a lot, right? for 36 we create 12 of pollution, and I'm really not creating a lot. I'm only creating what, 12. So yeah, I'm just doing this. And that's basically the end. We have covered it all. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below, if you have any questions about this medical supply level 3. But as you can see, we're starting to make some good reserve. This will get full, and then this will stop really working all the time. This will only work when we need it. But I'm really happy that this is a perfect productivity thing. And there is also, by the way, some contracts with medical supply level 3. So we can show you, it is one over here for copper ore. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use it, because honestly 300 is quite a lot, right? We're only making 100 with this. Now obviously it's not like we need to do this contract all the time, but still I do need quite a lot of copper. So I think we may go more with the lab equipment one rather than this one. But the good thing, if you do want, to do this contract, is, as I said, it takes very little of these resources over here. What mostly it takes is farm space, right? So if you have smart farm space, it is actually a good contract to do. It does take also quite a few people, right? I mean, we have a lot of workers for all of these buildings, so do keep that in mind. You could reduce a lot the worker number if you upgrade them to robotic, but then you will also need the server capacity for the teraflops, right? So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, medical supply level 3 is done. So now we have definitely a way better situation in terms of our population. They have all of the food that they need. They have all of the medical supply, and I don't even need to use this edict of reducing the water consumption of this settlement, because I'm creating water now in the nuclear reactor, right? So that has been enough to keep this going. I will still rework this, to make it perfect, but I did want to highlight this. Talking about edicts, I have actually started to use quite a lot of edicts. Remember, we were using already before the plenty of food that is giving me unity, but now I'm also using a lot of unity for two things. Reducing my consumption of maintenance, right? Maintenance is reduced by 15% and 10%, so 25%, right? That's costing 2. And then most importantly is recycling efficiency. Right, I have done all 4 levels, which is costing 5 of unity, but it's helping me a lot. Because look at this, this is 10, this is 20%, 15%, 10%, and 10%. So now if I go into the recycling center over here, right, we have a recycling efficiency of 90%. And what's important is that doesn't mean that, one recyclable is going to give me more things. It actually means more that I'm going to get a lot more recyclables out of everything that I do. Basically what it means is that 90% of the iron that is used for the maintenance, or the steel, or the copper, or the gold, etc., 90% of this will be turned into recyclables. Right? So basically it means I need 90% less iron, copper, etc. to run my city. So that's a pretty important thing, right, for the end game. So we can delete also this old one there, get some resources and some space. It is good to see that there is no warning right now. We have pretty high numbers of everything, right? Purple construction parts are back to full, more than 2,000. We have good numbers also of level 2 and level 3. So I think the next episode is going to be a perfect time to start our new bus and some of these new blast furnaces production, right, for iron, copper, glass. These are not the final one, I started to work on it, but as you can see for the bus, I've already made kind of like great blueprints. So I'm excited with this to move into this next step. This has served us well, but this will be even better. This will require, basically the goal of this, right, is to require 0 truck at all. That we go from the cargo depots directly into those things, and directly from those things to the bus, and from the bus directly to those, production. And then just if we need some resources, of course, then the trucks can pick them up to deliver somewhere. So I hope you're excited. Do tell me in the comments below also what else you're hoping to see. Should we do more beautification, more streets, those type of things? Please smash like button, and I hope to see you next time.